So, good afternoon to everybody. I'm delighted to be here, and I'm delighted you are still here. I'm aware we've all had a long day, so what I would like to do in the next 20 minutes is to invite you all to join the red co-production bus and to co-produce the next 20 minutes with me. So some of you may now wonder, what is co-production? And just to set your expectation right, I haven't brought a Hollywood film for you, but I understand Noella, where is she? Where has she gone? She's disappeared right now. Anyway, she is producing some films, so that is for later. But co-production has now become a quite established term of citizen engagement, and I'm going to explain you and discuss with you what that means in the context of stakeholder involvement. You're already practicing? Good. Thank you. So I'd like to start with three initial proposals. How can we improve social inclusion through stakeholder participation? That is the question of the panel, as Lisa has already described. And I brought three proposals with me. The first one is to bring people more into civil society, because sadly, we do know and we have evidence that more and more people are lonely, they are isolated, they can't get older people, for example, out of the house. So this is one action I'd like to propose. Secondly, bring people more into public services. There are a number of public services, for example, social care, unemployment offices. They already got thousands of clients of data about customers, about citizens in their computers. They're already in touch with them, but often they don't use existing contacts to ask citizens, what can you do, what can you contribute, what do you suggest we should improve, what are your views? Thirdly, and I think that is my most radical proposal, is to bring public officers into civil society. I often talk to public managers, commissioners who tell me it's months ago I had the opportunity to talk to service users. So maybe we need to close down public offices for one day, once a month, allow public offices go out in the street, out in the neighborhood, to meet local people where they are, so they know what is at the heart of local people, of local residents, and to engage in a genuine organization where they are. So let me take some stock first, and I guess these conferences have been going on for a while, and during that time, I don't know what your verdict is for your country, but I think for most OECD countries, that's at least the view of the OECD, quite a lot of progress has been made, and at least now governments acknowledge the need to move from the role of simple provider of services towards the development of close partnerships with all relevant stakeholders. So I guess so far so good. But of course, the challenge is, how can we put this in practice? And as always, the devil is in the implementation. And initial research on barriers of co-production, which we are currently undertaking, these are still preliminary findings, show that there is a lack of skills of public managers and frontline staff to engage and collaborate with citizens. There are, of course, some engagement officers in most organizations, but that's not enough. A second barrier is that very often public stakeholder involvement initiatives lack strategic objectives. They are done because people believe in that. They think this is part of good governance. And very often they are also done for good public relations. And of course, that makes it difficult to evaluate if you don't have clear objectives. And that brings me to the third barrier. As we have found out doing a study in co-production in Germany, which was commissioned by the Bertelsmann Foundation, there has been a lack on evaluation. What are the benefits, what are the outcome of stakeholder involvement, of public participation? And as a result, as it was written here in the description of the panel, The results are often reduced to counting the number of participants, how many participants are sitting here, but I don't think, if we were to evaluate this conference, that's not how to measure it. So my suggestion is what you see here, and I'm sure most of you will be familiar with that, the usual input-output-outcome model, is to start from the back, from citizens. Ask citizens, what are you interested in? But I think in 2018, that is not enough. I think we also have to ask a new question. Can you guess what that question should be? A very daring question.
What can they do?
Exactly, wonderful. What can you do? What are you prepared to do? I find the people I talk to, this question is a scary question because we are used to ask people, what is it you can't do? We are used to deficit analysis. To ask people and to talk about what each of us are good at, that's in many cultures considered to be embarrassing, boasting. So this is a new dialogue, and of course now we got the ICT actually to map people skills. So, I would be interested in discussing with you if there are already some, at least, pilot projects, some experiments in this regard. Okay, but now I've got a question for you, which is, I think, straightforward. What do people with visual impairments need most? And I'd like to invite you to discuss this question with your neighbor to your left or to your right, depending on your political orientation. And you've got, I think we can give 2 minutes to discuss the question, okay? I'll walk around, so no discussing about what you're going to do tonight, focus on the question. Okay? Yes.
Okay, then I can.
And now you can,
Okay.
but wait with it. And with the question, there is a twofold answer, so only click once. So I give them the first part of the answer, then I tell you when you need to click again. Look, it only shows the first part, and then when you click again, shows the second part.
Click only once.
Yeah.